All right, everyone, Extinction Rebellion activists, so-called. There's no reason to call them activists because, again, they're fighting for Al Gore and stuff like that. They got slammed in London. They were trying to climb on, I guess, the trains in order to stop them from moving. Commuters don't like that. If you're in a major city, you'll notice most people use public transportation. Unless they're going short distance, then they walk or take a bike. They're taking a tram, a train, subway station, a bus, something like that. When you stop angry commuters in a city like London, they attack you, usually, and that's exactly what happened. A number of these people climbed on the train to stop it from moving. They got dragged physically off the train and beaten. This is counter-activism. What this is that a bunch of ne'er-do-wells that are fighting for something that doesn't need to be fought for at all are just trying to make an ass of themselves, and they're getting their shit kicked in. Good. It's good when this happens. I think there was another incident in Canada where this happened. In the U.S., this should be done far more often. Attempts to disrupt normal, everyday people in order to make a ruckus, that's common, and sometimes with civil disobedience. You see, there's a difference. They want to class it as all the same thing. But think about like sit-ins in the segregation era to try to end segregation. No white person was being prevented from eating their sandwich because the black man happened to be sitting on the floor next to him. There was never any legitimate reason why those businesses would simply shut down service and say, oh, well, we can't do anything now, there's a black man in the establishment. It didn't make sense. But to physically impose yourself upon commuters by climbing onto a train, thus the train, what's it going to do? They're going to take off and just smash your head against the nearest bridge? That's obviously not going to go over so well, although there might be something to be said for simply moving the train as normal. Automate the system so if someone's dumb enough to climb on the train, they get killed. That way, I bet that would shut down the so-called activists. And you look at what these people are fighting for. They're essentially part of the fear-mongering club of the politicized branch of so-called environmentalism, which is really just a corporate tool that's been developed from authentic environmentalism. Environmentalism in the 80s. In the 90s. It's very much anti-corporate. Now environmentalists, so-called, because that's all you can term them as, they embrace corporatism. They love corporations. They think that they can lean on corporations to do the right thing. Instead of fighting against Walmart draining a swamp, they say, well, to Walmart, you need to invest in this green energy project. And it's sellout hippie nonsense. It's not going to save the world if climate change is real. And if it's not real, then these people don't have a reason to be protesting at all because they're fighting for bullshit. That's what I honestly think. I think for the most part they're wrong. They're not trying to go around planting trees. They're not going around trying to rehabilitate a wetland somewhere. They're not trying to save the striped tiger moth or anything. They're not doing anything positive for the world. Their only answer is to try to get attention. I wonder who's making money off of hashtag Extinction Rebellion. No, a lot of people. It's funny because Greta Thunberg, I guess she's going to some Canada or something to do more so-called protesting, which is really just grandstanding. Give me donations. It's a shakedown basically. It's funny to see all of her rabid acolytes say, "Oh, it's so horrible. People are protesting her, but she's only 16." Well, again, if you're intelligent enough, supposedly as she is, to be a spokesperson for a social movement and you're declaring yourself to be some sort of leader or figurehead within the same, you're going to get criticized. It doesn't matter if you're 16 years old. So it's funny because a bunch of oil rig truckers, I guess, are planning a counter rally. And they found the hotel she was staying at, and they were reporting from on site. And they said, oh, they're trying to dox her and get her killed or something. No, they're not. They're just showing you the outside of the fucking hotel. They're not trying to storm a room or any crazy shit like that. You've got people whose jobs are being endangered. Yeah, no shit, there's going to be a response. It's just, how is that any different from some legacy media turd starts defaming YouTube and claiming it's full of hateful people in order to shake down more money from people who otherwise would donate to the SPLC or the ADL or something? How is that any different from someone like me responding to that and saying, well, you're wrong and you suck? It's no different. Some people would cast that as an attack upon the press, by the way. Attempts by the New York Times, if I remember correctly as well, to be reported on, to say that the internet is destroying free press now. Very interesting, because I thought that the internet was promulgating human communication, but I guess it's difficult. When you're used to a magazine format, it's hard to work online. Pity for them. Now, Thunberg and all of these other people are not even authentically activists at all. How the hell, by the way, they're always saying, well, fossil fuel, CO2, climate change. But you're trying to shut down mass transportation. Mass transportation is a way to reduce, if you care about the issue at all, CO2 emissions. It's far more efficient to carry people by bus or train. Space-wise and fuel-wise, it is considerably more efficient to do that, especially on a local basis, like in a metropolitan area. Way more efficient than it is to have all those people individually driving cars. It'd probably be better if they were biking around, and locally you can definitely do that, or even walking or something. But by and large, yes, it's more efficient. Mass transit, mass transportation is something that had been fought for several decades by actual activists within authentic environmentalism. I'm wondering, are there now approaching their 60s, like 80s and 90s era environmentalists, like actual activists, who are pissed off at the new wave of these so-called activists? They just want a carbon tax. So they want money, and they want corporations to act differently, but they don't care if they exist in their current environmentalist free state. So they want money, and they want cheap shoes from China. And all they do is harangue and inconvenience people. It's a little bit different than people spiking trees to ruin chainsaws now, isn't it? It's a little bit different from Greenpeace trying to toss ink up onto the deck of a whaling ship in order to taint the meat. It's a lot different from people trying to have a sit-in in Congress. Now, they don't do that anymore. This never happens. They don't go to D.C. and petition some senator to talk with them. They just go out and they try to stop a train or a bus in order to get attention. On social media, mainly. A lot of these people, I have a feeling, they don't even really care. They're just there to snap a picture for Instagram. I'm on top of a train. Hi, Mom. I have a feeling that that's what it's ultimately about. They just want more clout online. Like, they've become so they're such attention whores that the only thing that they can do with their life is inconvenience others to get that 15 minutes of fame. It's usually not even 15 minutes, 15 seconds, and they get pulled off the train, beaten by some North FC dude, and it's really humorous. I find it really great. I think it's wonderful that they ripped them off the train. I think they should definitely go to jail for a long time. Make an example of them. Hopefully it won't happen again. Then your London commuter lines will remain open. That's about all. Peace out.